All right, guys, this is Kelly from Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course. I got to wear my headsets like this, guys, because I'm getting a serious echo. I can't get rid of that. So today we're going to be talking about finding the correct renter and how important that is. Those of you who have been following us here on YouTube or any other social media platform know that we like to rent our mobile homes out to Section 8. That's just what we like to do, okay? The main reason why we like to do that is because this is guaranteed money. We actually got this message on yesterday, this text message. Actually, my brother got this text message from a park manager who we do business with. And this is what I'm telling you guys. If you pick the wrong renter, let's just say you say, hey, I'm not dealing with no Section 8. It's too much drama or whatever the case may be. You done heard some bad stuff about Section 8 or whatever the case may be. I just want a regular person. I don't care about guaranteed money. I just don't want any drama. First of all, guys, there's going to be drama regardless who your renter is. 9 times out of 10, something is going to come up. Y'all either not going to get along or they're going to be calling you every 5 minutes for repairs, regardless if you have a mobile home or a single family home. Guys, if you are the landlord, that is the drawback. The drawback is that you are going to have to be called a time or two regarding some repairs. So this particular text message, guys, you can read it if you want. This was sent to us on yesterday to a mobile home park manager who we have a very good relationship with. We actually own 5 mobile homes in that particular park, but it's not one park. It's like 2 parks. No, it's really like 3 parks, okay, because they're sister parks. And I tell people this all the time. When you're building relationships with the mobile home park managers, build a solid relationship with them, because not only can they get you deals in that particular park where they work, they can also get you deals in sister parks as well. And this is how we went about getting these properties, okay? Due to the fact that she really likes us, she actually texted my brother this on yesterday, and I was like, ooh, I didn't even think of this. Since we had this new president, guys, and I'm not here to knock anybody who voted for anybody, whoever you voted for, that's cool, none of my business. But what's going on, and I'm sure you have, been looking at the news since President Trump has become the president, what's happening is that these people are getting deported who are here illegally, okay? I'm not here to say if it's right or wrong, okay? The whole thing is I have an issue with people not paying their taxes, and of course if they're here illegally, they're not paying no taxes, okay? I do have an issue with that. So she sent us this text message, and guys, it kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh my God. And this is another reason why we like to deal with Section 8. She says, biggest day, hello. This is her in the green. Hello, the police is in your park, and they are kicking people out who don't have United States citizenship. Don't answer the door if you don't. Okay, this is what she said. And my brother, this is what my brother said here in the gray area here. It says, hello, thanks for letting us know. We already have papers. Thank you. All of our tenants already have papers. And guys, this is the main reason why we like to deal with Section 8, because we know we're not going to be getting somebody who's not supposed to be here, somebody who could possibly get deported, somebody who could leave you in the middle of the night because they know they're not supposed to be here. Because, and guys, I don't know all the ins and outs of how you go about getting government assistance, but I am pretty sure that you cannot get government assistance if you are not a citizen here. I'm pretty sure that that is the fact. And that's another reason why we like to deal with Section 8, because we know these people are citizens, and we know the type of money that can come in from a Section 8 tenant. Now, since I said that, I don't want anybody believe if it's a mobile home or a single family home that you're going to get any more money than you would if this person was just a regular person. I don't want anybody to think that you can overcharge a Section 8 tenant, because you cannot. You cannot. What's going to happen is when you apply to have this person as your tenant with Section 8, they're going to pretty much tell you, hey, Kelly, your mobile home, hey, Kelly and Joe Harden, your mobile home is priced too high. Or they'll even tell you, hey, you can get a little bit more for that mobile home. You're about $200 to $300 less than what it should be. Do you want to go up? they will tell you that, guys. They're very honest. And another thing they will tell you is when you come around for your annual anniversary, what they'll tell you is, hey, you can go up on the rent if you like. It is up to you whether you want to go up or down or whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, guys, we do go up on the rent because we want to keep it like within market value. So we do go up on the rent. No issues with that. But the whole thing is, guys, I don't really want to go up drastically on anybody because I know still there's utilities that's going to have to be paid. And sometimes we do have tenants that do not have a job. And sometimes it's hard for them to pay their utility bills, even though they're not responsible for a whole lot as far as their rent goes. A lot of these people just do not work at all. I'd rather have guaranteed money coming in for a long time than sit up here and raise the rent where they can't even afford to pay for the electricity or the water bill or the trash and sewer. So sometimes it just depends upon how I feel. I kind of get a feel for that particular tenant, whether or not I think I'm going too high where they won't be able to even afford the utilities, okay, on that particular mobile home. And then, guys, another thing that I take into consideration is that we have not paid a whole lot for the mobile home in the first place. I'm not sitting up here trying to be greedy, but what I try to tell you guys time and time again is that we pay very little for our mobile homes. Our average mobile home only cost us $15,000 to $16,000. We do have one mobile home that we actually paid $20,000 for, but that is it. Okay, so pretty much after the tenant has lived there in our home for a little over a year, sometimes 2 years, depending upon, how much we can get for rent or whatever the case may be, that mobile home is paid for by the tenant through Section 8. And this is the reason why we like dealing with Section 8. A lot of you are going to remain stuck on, I want to invest in a single family home. But guys, it's coming around the corner where the average single family home is roughly going to cost about $700,000. It's not going to be anything fancy. It probably won't even be a 2-story. It'll probably be a single story. It's probably not going to be in the best of neighborhoods. Nothing exciting. So if you yourself don't even live in a $700,000 home, why would you put that type of money towards a rental property? That's what I do not understand. And I try to talk to people about this. It is not like I am living in the mobile home, but I know as an investor that the dollar amounts that I can get for my mobile homes. Why would I do that when I know that if I purchase a mobile home versus a single family home, guys, and if it's in the same zip code, I'm going to get the same amount of rent if I have the same amount of beds. Okay, so if I have a 3-bedroom mobile home and I have a single family home that's a 3-bedroom as well, guys, I'm going to get, and it's in the same zip code, I'm going to get the same rent. So I'd rather spend $15,000 on a mobile home than sit up here and invest in a single family home, hundreds of thousands of dollars, where I'm not going to see a profit, maybe not, sometimes not even in my lifetime. So why would I do that? And I try to tell people this time and time again, and they're just so stuck on, I want to be a single family home investor or whatever the case may be. I'm not asking you to move in the mobile home. And I know mobile home investing sometimes does not sound sexy, but what is sexy to me, and I've said this time and time again, is that when me and my family is getting this money into our bank accounts for mobile homes that we barely paid little to no money for. And guys, I tell you what, my mom and my brother both drive cars that are more expensive than the mobile homes that we've actually purchased. Now, I drive a piece of crap, but to tell you the truth, guys, there are people driving cars that cost more than the mobile homes that we have invested in. And you sit up here and you buy a fancy car with not even thinking about it, and you're not getting any return on your money whatsoever with that fancy car. But when it comes to, when I say, hey, and why don't you take that money and invest in a mobile home, then all of a sudden you got a second guess. I don't know about that. Wait, and I'm telling you that if you buy the right mobile home, like I tell my students, like I teach my students, if you buy the right mobile home, you can have this money coming in for a lifetime. In the beginning, I would slip up and say residual income. By no means is this residual income. It is not. If you're the landlord, it is not going to be residual income. The only time mobile home investing, in my opinion, is residual income is if you are seller financing the property out. Those of you who are not familiar with seller financing, basically in a nutshell, what happens with seller financing is that you buy a mobile home very cheaply. Let's just say $10,000. Then you turn around, maybe do a little rehab on it, and then you turn around and maybe try to sell it for double what you invested in that particular mobile home. Your end buyer is going to give you a lump sum of money. After they give you a lump sum of money, guys, what's going to happen is that they are going to give you monthly payments, just like a car payment. They're going to give you monthly payments every month until that mobile home is paid for, just like a car payment. Okay. There are some investors who use an exit strategy when they're seller financing, and I call it keep your fingers crossed type of strategy. And what do I mean by that? They are hoping that the end buyer, let's just say they created a 7-year note for that end buyer. They're hoping that the end buyer defaults in making the payment roughly about the 4-year mark. Remember, I said the note was 7 years. They're hoping that the end buyer defaults right about the 4-year mark. And what's going to happen is they're going to get the mobile home back. So when you're seller financing your properties out to people, you are not responsible. You, as the owner of the mobile home, seller financing that property out to somebody, the end buyer, you are not responsible for any repairs. Okay. So some investors use this as a exit strategy where they don't have to be the landlord. They don't have to be responsible for any repairs. They're keeping their fingers crossed, hoping that the end buyer right around the 4 or the 5-year mark will default in that loan. And what's going to happen, they're going to get that mobile home back and they're going to rinse and repeat. And 9 times out of 10, they have not spent much money for the mobile home to begin with. Okay. So what's going to happen is if you seller finance the deal and they default, they stop making payments either to you, or if the mobile home is inside of a mobile home park, maybe they stop making payments to the mobile home park. What's going to happen is rinsing and repeating. You're going to get that mobile home back. Guys, of course, you're probably going to have to pay liens on the home. There's probably going to be existing liens on the home. You're probably going to have to catch all of that up. You're going to get your mobile home back. You're going to put the mobile home back in your name. You're going to rinse and repeat, seller finance it to somebody else. Some investors do this. We have done this a time or two where we have repossessed a mobile home. And that's what I try to tell people. Repossessing a mobile home is like, it is repossessing personal property. Mobile homes that are inside of a mobile home park, they're not real estate, guys. They are personal property. So repossessing a mobile home is pretty much as easy as repossessing a car. Okay. So we have used this particular exit strategy before where we weren't really crossing our fingers, but it just sort of kind of happened where the end buyer either stopped paying the lot rent or they stopped paying us. And we were able to repossess the mobile home, rinse and repeat, and turn around and seller finance it out to somebody else. The main reason why we don't like this strategy, guys, is because mobile homes have a life expectancy, and I said this several times, they have a life expectancy anywhere between 55 and 60 years. So if you're buying a pretty much newer model mobile home, when I say newer, I'm not talking about brand new. What I'm talking about, maybe something that's no older than 20 years old, that barely needs any rehab. Okay, so when you're buying properties like that, guys, you have at least maybe another 30 years where you can collect rental property. Okay, and that's what we like doing. However, in the cases where we had to repossess the mobile home because we seller financed it out to somebody, okay, and then we turn around after we repossessed it and we seller financed it out again, the main reason why we had to seller finance it out again is because that particular park where we did business in, they don't allow for renting. So if the park does not allow for renting and you seller financed it out before, there are other exit strategies you could do. You could fix it and flip it. Okay. You could just sell it as is. Okay. But the whole thing is if the park does not allow for renting, our only choice in our predicaments because we've repossessed homes 3 times now since we've been in this business. Our whole thing is, since the mobile home park didn't allow for renting, we had to resell or finance it out to somebody else. And remember, I told you, when you're seller financing your properties out, you are not responsible for the repairs. They can't call you about the roof is leaking, there's a hole in the floor, the commode does not flush. They cannot call you for any of that. And this is an exit strategy that a lot of mobile home investors, I should say seasoned mobile home investors, do. They sit up here and they wait like, oh, it's about year 4 and it's a 7-year note, I'm hoping I get my mobile home back. They won't be responsible for any repairs for those 4 years. Okay, a lot of people do this. We have done that. Okay, there was a mobile home that we actually seller financed out, and the mobile home got repossessed, mainly because the person who was the end buyer, they stopped paying the lot rent. So when they stopped paying the lot rent, guess what happened, guys? We repossessed the mobile home and we seller financed it back out to somebody else, only because the park does not allow for renting. Okay, we really wanted to move that mobile home, but since the mobile home was so long, we could not find a lot that would take that mobile home. The mobile home was too long in size, and so we had to wind up seller financing it out to somebody else. Okay, within that same park, another mobile home that we had was actually repossessed by us. They weren't paying the lot rent, they weren't paying us. The park was hoping that we repossessed the mobile home. We were hoping that the park repossessed the mobile home. We wound up having to take them to court within, I think, 20 days time or 21 days time, guys. We got our mobile home back. We tried to seller finance it back out again, because remember, I told you with the first situation, the park did not allow for renting. So we were going to seller finance it out again, fix it up a little bit and seller finance it out again. But we couldn't get any takers, guys. We couldn't get any takers. People were saying we were too high on our price. We didn't think so. We didn't want to go down. So my brother came up with a great idea. Hey, Kelly, let's move this mobile home. We moved the mobile home to a park where we know Section 8 is booming. Section 8 is not booming everywhere, guys. And I teach my students this. Section 8 is not booming everywhere. It is not. Okay, I don't care what anybody say, it is not. But my students know how to find areas where the Section 8 is booming. Okay, and so that's what we did. That last scenario, guys, we took that mobile home off of the market. We were no longer interested in reseller financing it out to somebody else. And what we did, guys, we moved that mobile home. We moved that mobile home to a park we already did business in. We already had several of our mobile homes were already rented out by Section 8. So we knew Section 8 was already booming out there. And what happened was, guys, we got a new Section 8 tenant to rent that mobile home out. That mobile home was only a 2014. Okay. So roughly that mobile home is right at the 20-year mark, right? It's at the 20-year mark. So am I doing the math right? Okay. It's at the 20-year mark. Okay. Because it is a 2014. Okay. And that's what we like to do. That's what we like to do, guys. We don't like to buy mobile homes that are any older than 20 years old, because we know the older that they get, sometimes it's going to be an issue with, the roof, an issue with the flooring, the water, the hot water heater, the electrical, the plumbing, or whatever the case may be. So this is the reason why we like to mobile home invest, because it is so many exit strategies to mobile home investing. So back to this text message. This is actually a text message that was sent to my brother on yesterday. Okay. This text message does not affect us whatsoever. Okay. Because 9 times out of 10, we don't have regular tenants. We do have a couple of regular tenants, but we don't have regular tenants 9 times out of 10. Most of our tenants, about in the high 90 percentile, most of our tenants are Section 8. Okay. And because of this, guys, we don't have to worry about, the police coming, knocking at the door and kicking our tenants out. And boom, all of a sudden, we're going to be responsible for the lot rent. And if we haven't paid the mobile home off totally, guess what else we're going to be responsible for? We're going to be responsible for, however we went about paying for that mobile home. Did we use business credit or business lines of credit? Guess what? We're going to have to pay that credit card off, or we're going to have to pay that business line of credit off, because we can no longer rely on the tenant to pay us. Okay. And I'm sorry, guys. Normally I have the fancy background and all that kind of stuff. Not doing that today because I'm very excited. And when I saw this text message, I got nervous, and then I'm thinking, what do I have to be nervous for? Most of our tenants have Section 8. Nobody is illegally here. That's another reason why we like dealing with Section 8. Okay. So if you want to learn how to mobile home invest, guys, you can contact me at 800-974-5580, and I will show you how to mobile home invest. Now, my exit strategy, me and my family exit strategy might be different than your exit strategy. Maybe you don't have the money right now to buy and hold a mobile home. And if you do not, that's okay, guys, because I have a strategy for you called wholesaling. And when you wholesale a mobile home, basically you're connecting a seller with a buyer. Okay. You're finding a seller who's trying to sell their mobile home. And then what you're going to do, you're going to get them under contract. Once you get them under contract, you're going to turn around and advertise that mobile home for more than what you got the seller under contract for. Once you find that end buyer, okay, you have the end buyer buy the mobile home, and what you're going to do, you're going to collect the difference between what the seller is trying to sell the mobile home for and what the buyer was trying to buy that particular mobile home for. Okay. So again, this is Kelly from Hills, Deals and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course. I would love to have you. You can contact me at 800-974-5580.